How are the Japanese climbers just so good? They're wizards on slabs, monsters on the overhang, and ninjas on jumps. Well, one of the biggest reasons is their route setting. In this episode, I visit one of the best climbing gyms in Japan, Maboo, a gym where some of the best Japanese athletes frequent. Tomowa, Meishi Narasaki, Ano Masufuji, and Futaba Ito. I follow the route setters for a day and try to understand how route setting is one of the major reasons behind why the Japanese climbers always seem to be on another level. The setters start off with talking about how to fill each section of the wall, not only in terms of difficulty, but aesthetics as well. The goal is to create climbs which attract the climbers to pull on no matter the difficulty. The largest and most visually striking features determine the overlook of the wall, so they go up first. And of course, someone has to push these massive and heavy volumes up the wall, right? In this case, this job belongs to ROUTESETTING. As the intern and trainee of the gym, all the heavy lifting goes onto his shoulders. But making them look good is enough. To me, Japanese route setting is special because the moves are just so creative. And when climbed well, they can be very flowy. Each and every move on the climb is connected, and the satisfaction comes from not just doing one flashy move, but the entire climb. Despite the fact that these massive volumes are heavy and tough to move around, the setters don't hesitate in taking out all the screws and change the angle of the holds until they can do exactly what they want. And here you can see that Mogi-san did not hesitate to take the climb out completely because the movement didn't flow with what was in his mind. Although the route setters have put the largest features onto the wall first, it doesn't mean that these are the hardest climbs. They simply are the climbs that take the most time to set, as these large holds provide a lot of options and simply take a lot of time to adjust, especially when you're only talking physically. For example, this coordination run into a palm press has a very high skill requirement, but the actual physical strength you need is very low.
What happened to your move? I don't know. It's gone, right?
When this happens, an experienced route setter like Hibiki is just find a different solution.
Yuta-san? Hi? Is it harder to set easy routes or hard routes?
同じ
We spend a lot of time for the hard stuff, difficult grading. While we are testing, it's difficult, so we cannot like flash it everything, right? But for the easy grade, we care about it, so we spend much time, but it's easy grading for us. We can just flash it everything.
If you have been paying attention, you would have noticed that the route setters are testing every single move the moment they put up the holds. Testing is very important. Even the smallest adjustments will make the world of difference for the climbers.
If you put it like this, you can, use it as a really good foot. But if it's like this, you can slip it. So that makes the stress to the climbers. And the stress for the climber while climbing is really important, because if there's no stress for the climbing, that's just, easy, yeah. And we don't like the easy route for the really difficult routes. We need difficult one. We need stress.
絶対返される。
Is he playing Pokemon Go?
From the route setter's perspective, what is special about Japanese route setting?
まあ多分他の国に比べてそんな緊張が大きくない。
His image for the overseas climbing industry is the climbers are really tall, so it's so difficult to set one route for men's and women's at the same time. But in Japan, the average climbers height are almost the same. So we have to make sure that men and women can enjoy the one route for every route.
Do you think that's why there's so many strong Japanese girls compared to overseas? Because they have more hard problems to try?
あ、それが理由かもしれないですね。
You think so? Yeah.
After hearing Yuta-san say that, I think it was very true. When height as a factor for failure is eliminated from climbs, climbers have nothing but their own abilities to blame when they fall off a climb. I think the route setting here is awesome because the moves are just so difficult. Timing is hard to grasp, and you just have to be so strong.
Come on.
Perhaps that's another reason why Japan has so many strong young climbers. They're given the opportunity to try really difficult climbs despite being physically smaller than the adult. So yeah, that's it. During the time that I spent in Maboo, each problem took at least about 3 hours. From putting on the initial hold to adjusting, testing each move, adjusting again, then finally completing the whole climb. Fun fact, almost every Japanese gym has a smoking area. I think that's just like a Japanese thing. Another extremely important job of the route setters is to help the climbers learn. Climbs need to be challenging, but then at the correct level of difficulty. Yuta-san was trying to set his toe hook move on the steepest part of the wall.
So the grade is determined by the color of the hole.
And red is one of the easiest circuits. This makes creating the move within the confines of the grade to be very challenging. Yuta-san was literally adjusting these field holds for about 2 hours.
What's the feeling you're trying to find with this boulder? I see you changing it a lot and just doing small adjustments every time.
ああ、いや最初はこのグレードに対して優しいからなんか違うなって思って。
He's got too much idea. He tested all and everything was not in the right place. It's circled and then it's getting more circle.
Still too easy?
Too difficult. One of the most important thing for the route setting is that what we do is actually connecting the climbers are having fun. The climbing culture itself is evolving with the climbers, and then if the climbers are not having fun, that means that we fail to make their time, make their, how to say it?
Make their time worth it.
Yeah, something like that.
With that, I left the setters to get on with their work with no further distractions.
Okay, we're back in Maboo.
Yeah.
2 days later.
I came here on Thursday, and it's now Saturday morning. And have you guys finished now?
Almost finished. Every problem is here right now.
So how many hours do you set for the past few days?
I don't know, I stopped counting.
So
I guess it's over 48.
over 48 hours.
Yeah,
Non-stop setting.
I guess so.
What's the secret? Coffee?
Coffee, cigarette, and some nasty jokes.
They're about to do some final testing and see how they try the boulders and how good they actually are at the end. We're also gonna get to climb on them a little. Really want to see what it feels like at the end. Let's get climbing. This is a position I've never been in before. Don't know how to start. Oh my god. What? No holds, right?
Yeah, no holes.
Other than being very interesting, one thing that's for sure of Japanese setting, it's very, very hard. Insane. You gotta use your brain all the time. Like, they're always coming out with new moves. It's crazy. Oh my god!
Nice. Yeah.
These on. After 2 days, are you happy with how the set is? No?
とても良い。Very good.
Alright, so that's setting with the Japanese setters, learning the process and seeing how everything goes. I hope you enjoy the video and have a really good insight into Japanese setting and see the amount of work and dedication they put into this crazy craft. I just want to say a big thank you to all the route setters again, and Toki, who's the owner of Maboo, to let this video happen. In the next episode, I take a deep dive into the art of creating some of the most beautiful climbing holds with the shaper of Under Blue Holds, Masaki Yasuda. So make sure you subscribe to not miss out on the video. Catch you on the next one.